Okay, so where are we on our stage? We're here. So we're melting the environment a little bit more. The stars are moving. I just need to move my character. Shift the head a little bit. Maybe play with his ruffles a little bit. Excuse me. As the melting is happening. So that looks good. I'm also going to, let's see. Yeah, so I have this mist now as an aspect. That's brighter. So I want to hold down Option, Layer, Merge Visible, Command A, Command C, Command V. And then Command D to deselect. And now, first thing I'm going to do, move up that atmospheric, brightness from the texture fill that I colored. Make the sun brighter, playing with the opacity here. Maybe even move this up and out a little bit. Oh, now we see the white of the sun coming through. And I think I need one more movement of the stars. Hopefully I've got it in my panning. Yeah. And we got to melt the glacier. And this is when we're going to start to zoom in. As his face is fully revealed, we're going to start to zoom in. I'll be a little lazy and not use Puppet Warp here, instead just use regular scale and just kind of move it down. No, it doesn't look as good. Gotta use Puppet Warp. More directional. See how it just syncs it all so nicely. Erase some of the tips. All right. And now play with my character. So my character is pretty boring now. He's just staying in one place. But what I want to start doing is zooming in on him. And so I'll show you how I do that. Yeah, just get a little bit of change in him. Okay. So now I'm going to hold down Option and say Layer, Merge Visible. So this is new. This is to zoom in. Now I've got this whole flattened layer, and I'm going to say Command A, select all to copy, right? But before I copy, I'm going to say Command T for transform, and I'm going to hold down Shift and Option so it zooms right from the middle, very predictably. And I'm just going to do it a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch out. So it's like that. So it'll be very subtle. And this is now what I deselect, and then I say Command A, and then I say copy. So it's just these borders. Well, actually, no. Let me go back. See if this works. So after I transformed it, make it bigger. You see how my selection is bigger than the side? So what I'm curious about is if I copy it then, Command C, and now paste it, what will the edges of that be? You see, it shifted off to the side instead of being centered. So copying and pasting doesn't always put it exactly right, but this will always put it into that corner as it zooms. So even though I'm zooming in straight here, it's going to zoom in on the stage to this corner. And I can use that as long as my character is there. So I'm going to do it that way instead of reselecting all. So just in case I want to shift it, I have something outside of the borders to play with. That sounds confusing. I can understand. So now I'm going to now just mostly play with the environmental factors. Make this bright mist a little brighter. Make the sun a little bit brighter, and maybe higher in the sky. Almost 100% opacity. Notice you can't even really see the stars in the sky anymore, because the sun is now up and out. So I don't need to worry about moving the stars from here on out. You see how that zoom kind of affects what we're seeing. Okay. I want to fix the glacier, pretty much get it down to its last place before just the whole environment starts to melt by puppet warping. And I might puppet warp it at 2 different places now. So it's kind of sinking down. Revealing it more and more. Erase a little bit more of the background or these other elements that are on top. And even this middle ground copy. Huh. Where is that thing coming from? Ah, glacier tip. There we go. That's where it is. So I had to use auto select to figure out where that little tip was coming from. Now that I know, that's going to help a lot. Start to erase from that as well. Okay, let's see. Yep, let's move the head of the character. As we're zooming in on him, it's going to start to get bigger and bigger, you'll see. And now we hold down Option. Let's see, do I want to do anything with the ruffles? Well, his head I didn't do much with. Let's see. That looks good. Okay, now I'm go to the top layer, merge visible. For the first time I didn't have to do the stars. I'm going to select it all, Command A, and then I'm going to grow it 1/4 inch. So Command T, grow it out. I didn't from the center, hold down Option and Shift. Did 1/8 of an inch before it, now 1/4 inch. Copy, paste in, and you see we're zooming more and more, panning in. And as the camera moves, like the subtlety of everything else isn't, kind of takes a back seat a little bit. Deselect, delete, we're going to do it one more time. We're going to go up to a full inch, a 1/2 inch, and then a full inch, zooming. What do? I brighten up the atmospheric mist. Make the sun even brighter. Go to 100%, move it up. Oops. I'm going to turn auto select off there. maybe even make a duplicate of it and change its mode, or even something else you can sometimes do, put a color overlay over it to make something really bright, put a color overlay on it as a layer style that's white, and then just play with that opacity. The actual opacity of the effect. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to move my creature and then zoom in some more. You can see how color coding the different groups really helps you to locate them, because I have well over 100 layers now that I'm kind of working with. And what's nice about the folders is I can move the whole creature if I want to. All right, now hold down Option, Layer, Merge Visible, Command A, Transform, go to a full ½ inch now, holding down Shift and Option. Return, copy, paste. So let's see how that zoom is going. Yep. It's getting brighter and brighter. But what's nice about that too is if at any time, if I don't like that zoom, I can transform these elements and kind of shift them, move them around, because I've got that space outside. So that's why I'm doing it that way. Okay, deselect. Trying to get to this point where it's bright sun and zoomed in, and the ice is kind of melted all around him. Using a lot of texture fills, a lot of sun, a lot of effects to brighten it up. Bring that sun a little bit more into the sky each time. And move the character, well, mostly, just getting rid of this glacier. It's almost completely flattened out now. Out of the way. Revealing our hero. So let's move our hero a little bit. You can see how nice it is to have these little puppet features, especially the head. So if I puppet warp the head, it will distort a lot. So I don't want to have to do that. And then let's see, the background. Where's my middle ground? Good. Okay, and now I'm going to go to a full inch zooming in. So I'm going to Layer, Merge Visible, Command A to select it all, Command T to transform it. I'm zooming out so I can see the full inch. Copy, paste. Make sure it feels like I'm zooming.